Good evening everyone, hope you're all doing really well. So ahead of Hu Tao's rerun banner, let us discuss the character. The Hu Tao I'm going to show you in today's demo is essentially, in my opinion, a very standard, average, run-of-the-mill, free-to-play Hu Tao. Of course, with all characters you need proper artifacts, but you can see here with my artifacts, none of them are really great. They are what you'd get with typical average luck. For this, we're just going to use Constellation 1. And then there are her talents. I think everything that I'm going to show today is pretty F2P achievable. So what's the sort of gimmick behind Hu Tao? Well, it's pretty simple. You press your E, and that is like your guide to afterlife ability. You lose a lot of health, but then a percentage of your health is then converted to attack. And of course, this attack increase cannot exceed your base attack. So immediately, let's just sort of see how this works in action. You press E, and your 1200 attack is now 3000, which is pretty cool. And of course that is limited to 400% times that 561 that you can see on screen. In my case, of course, I did not get that max level. I only got like 330%, but if you do build your Hu Tao properly, you can get up to that limit. And this is also a very good reason for why you need the Staff of Homer, because it increases your HP and it increases that base attack stat that you can see there. So in effect you can gain way more attack. So that's like my feelings on the Staff of Homer. It's like such a broken weapon. So let us look at Hu Tao. This is going to be a very scripted, slow demo-ish fight because I want to talk about a couple of different aspects. The biggest aspect with Hu Tao is that you want to try and trigger a Vaporize, because that's going to do a lot of damage. So you can see with her ultimate we did about 64k critical hit, and non-critical hit was about 27k. Pretty typical free-to-play numbers. Hu Tao, like most characters, has like very terrible auto attacks. You can see now without the debuff, we're not really doing any damage with our normal attack strings. And then I'll also then just show Kokomi and Sucrose. Like most characters don't have great attacks. So the big thing with Hu Tao is that you generally, when you press your E, you want to do charge attacks, but you want to do them in a very mechanically friendly way. And what I mean by that is, and you'll see now on screen, is that I'm going to do like these sorts of hops. So I'm going to press the charge attack, I like hold mouse 1, and then jump cancel out right at the end. And you can see here, there we did about 25k worth of damage. This is the most stamina efficient way and the recommended way to play if you only have her at C0. Of course, if you have C1, you can do dash cancels, but please, whenever you play Hu Tao, don't do it like I'm doing here. This is basically without any cancelling. I'm just going through the enemy, and you can see we're just wasting stamina. For dash cancelling, essentially you can get like this. So you can attack way faster than with jump cancelling. I think you can get about 10 of these in, but the big problem is, of course, you lose stamina. Keep in mind that with Hu Tao, her biggest weaknesses are that like she loses health when she activates her E. Even though it gives you an attack bonus, it's a bit of a high risk, high reward situation. So you can see my Hu Tao was taken care of easily. So in a more proper team comp, you'll obviously want to pair her with a Zhongli and a Xing Shu. So let's just sort of see how it goes and what happens. So we're going to do exactly the same that we did earlier. Going to infuse, get everyone like afflicted with Hydro, and then we're going to do like some more damage. You can see there we now did about 77k critical hit. In some of these tests or like practice runs that I've did, I actually managed to get the resistance shred and everything right in such a way that we hit about 126k with Hu Tao's elemental burst, which is quite insane. As you can see, I don't know if you guys can feel it, but we're definitely doing way more damage just because of the team change, and it's going really well. Hopefully you guys have also now seen like a big weakness with Hu Tao, and that is that if you don't get that Vaporize, it's really, you lose a lot of damage. But even more so, Hu Tao herself is great for like if you want to like take on a boss or like a single target, but she's really terrible if you've got all these targets that are just running around, or if you don't have a Venti like me and you need to use Sucrose, and you need to group up everyone. She's really like bad at multiple targets, and this really does show. The only other big problem with Hu Tao as well is she's very prone to interruption. So unless you have her like at C6, she can get like disrupted very easily, and then you can lose out on your damage. He has a very nice casual 82k that we've hit on this enemy, not too bad. And yeah, you can sort of just see how this plays out. Obviously my Xingshu, I think we could have cleared this now in 8 minutes 30, or like in like 1 minute 30 seconds. But my Xingshu is not built properly. In fact, he is just, I don't even put any real artifacts or anything on him, so don't expect too much. But yeah, guys, this is just to sort of give you a feel for how Hu Tao does, and hopefully, yeah, you can decide whether you want to or not. Cheers.